Hi, my name is Jamie Genie, and I'm here with,
Drew Wisniewski.
and we're going to show you HUD adding functionality. So first of all, open up Flash, and we've gone ahead and pre-made a health bar in Flash. And you can see down here to the left each of the different layers that make up our health bar.
All those layers will actually be referenced later on within the action scripts, so you want to make sure that you've done this up to the points, but if you followed our previous tutorial that was done by Katie and Tim, then you'll have already been at this point.
So when you click here on Actions, and then you hit
The F9 key.
F9 key, or you can also go up to Actions in the window toolbar. You can see here that we've gone ahead and added the action script to give our health bar the functionality it needs to work with UnrealScript. And what's going to happen is whenever the player takes damage, the health bar here in red is going to decrease.
And this script will actually, again, it's going to be referenced later on, so be sure that you have copied this exactly to a T. You want to make sure you have everything exactly as shown here. Any changes could drastically alter how the health is taken away or added.
And be sure to watch your spacing and capitalization for things, and especially spelling, because it's accessing different libraries here with these things. So after you go ahead and add your action script, you're going to want to go ahead and test it out. This is your FX Media Player button, and Katie goes over how to set this up for you in the Flash environment in our other video. But what this does is when you press this button, it goes ahead and compiles everything and publishes your work. So we're just going to test it out and make sure it works.
And what do you know? It's a health bar. Yay!
Okay, so after we've gone ahead and made our health bar in Flash, we're going to want to go ahead and import it into UDK. So with your UDK editor open, go over and open the content browser, and we're going to want to find our Flash file that we just made. So by doing that, to do that, we're going to go down to Import and UDK Game, navigate to this, and then go to Flash folder. And we named ours HUD_practice.
Because we're cool like that.
Thanks, Drew.
Yeah.
We are.
We are.
And we made a subdirectory called UI scenes. And right here you can see sftutorial.swf, which is the extension that Flash saves files in. So we're going to go ahead and double click that, open it up. You're going to want to make sure that this has the correct pathway, HUD_practice, which we just saw, and it's under the UI scenes folder, and that it has the proper name. All of this is important later on when we actually work with the UnrealScript. Press OK, and then finally we're going to right click, and we're going to go ahead up to or down to Save. Left click there, and now your package is saved within UDK.
Had you not done that step, you would have completely lost your SWF file, so when you next opened up UDK, it would not be there.
Okay, so after you've gone ahead and imported your Flash file into UDK, you're going to want to close down UDK and go ahead and open up Visual Studio 2008, and make sure you're using the actual Visual Studio 2008 version and not Express.
From there, you want to actually move on, and you should see a whole bunch of files on your right-hand side after you've installed the Infringe installs that is mentioned in the wiki. And you want to go all the way to...
Well, let's see, the Infringe, in order to make sure, once you've downloaded Infringe, in order to make sure that it actually imports the libraries, the color coding and whatnot, word completion into your coding area, you're going to want to go up to Help and go to your Infringe License Manager. And we've already had it set up here, but you would go to Add and put in your studio name, and then say that you're using it for a non-commercial project, if you really are using it for a non-commercial project.
Be sure to put in a real email address, otherwise they won't be able to confirm that you are actually using it for a non-commercial product. And immediately after answering the email, it should automatically activate on your computer.
Okay, so you're going to want to go ahead and create a new project. Once you've downloaded Infringe, UnrealScript and Unreal Engine 3 licensee project should show up in here. This is very important. You're going to want to make sure that these are both active. And go ahead and name your project. We called ours Team 5 UI Practice, but it doesn't really matter too much what you call it. The important thing is that the location is C drive, UDK, UDK 2010, 12, or whatever your version of UDK is. This will change because new versions of UDK come out every month. So then under this folder, there will be a development folder, and then navigate to SRC for source. This is your source files. And you're going to go select folder. So make sure your location pathway is set to this. So once you've gone ahead and made your project, you're going to want to go to over here to the Solution Explorer window and right click on the name of your project. Go down to Properties, and we already have it brought up here. I can show you in a different window. That's what it looks like.
And once you open it up, you're going to see 4 tabs on the left-hand side. One of them says General, Build Events, Build, and Debug. And from the General tab, you'll see Game and Game Targets. You want to switch to Unreal Engine 3 Mod so that you can actually modify the engine.
When you first start up, an Unreal project in Visual Studio, it's going to be set for Unreal Engine 3 licensee, and it's important that you change this over, like Drew mentioned, to Unreal Engine 3 Mod. This will actually load all of the different project files into your project, all the different files from Unreal Engine. Okay, and after that you're going to want to set your UCC path to your binaries folder, and under UDK, the executable for UDK. Sometimes this actually doesn't work, and you might actually have to type out manually the file pathway. So in this case, you would need to type out C /UDK /UDK 2010-12 binaries, etc. Because sometimes, in at least this version, this shortcuts method that Visual Studio utilizes with Infringe does not work. So after you have this set up for udk.exe, and you can refer to our wiki, it has all these default settings, or property settings there for you. You're going to go down and go to your reference source path, and make sure that this is set on the source folder, similar to what we did when we first started our project. After that, you're going to skip right through build events and go right to build. You're going to want to check build debug scripts. And then lastly, click on the debug tab and start game executable. Very similar to what we did in the general tab, you're going to navigate to udk.exe, and what it might do is do that shortcut method that I told you about earlier, where it might not work, so you might need to type this out manually. Then you're going to check load map at startup, and right here is where you're going to want to name your actual map in UDK. So when we opened up our UDK editor and we imported our Flash file, we imported it into a UDK level that we made, and we went ahead and named ours UI map practice. Make sure that this matches up with the level that you imported your Flash file into. Next, you're going to want to check Start with specified game type, and then type in the name of your project that you created in Visual Studio. Dot and the project name again, and you're going to want to add info onto the end of it. It's very helpful later on. Finally, you're going to want to check Enable Unpublished Mods and check Force Windowed Mode, and then lastly check Open Log Window at position 0, 0. Okay, so we're going to want to go ahead and, before we actually get into adding some UnrealScript in Visual Studio, we need to edit our config files. So go ahead down and navigate to your UDK folder and double click on your version that you have of UDK, and then go ahead down to UDK game, double click that, and you'll see a folder that says config. These are important because when we change these files, they're going to have an impact with our UnrealScript and the UDK editor. And so go ahead down to default engine.ini, double click that, it'll open up a notepad, and we address this in our wiki, so you can go ahead and double check that for the exact information that you're to type in. But you'll notice here Unreal Ed.Editor Engine. Go ahead here and simply type in edit, an additional edit packages equals the name of your file that you've gone ahead and created in Visual Studio. Of course, if this doesn't open up for you or doesn't allow you to change anything or add anything, just go ahead and right click on it, go to Properties, and you might have Read Only checked. So go ahead and uncheck Read Only and then press OK. In this case, I just have Read Only checked. It's good practice after you've gone ahead and edited config files, just go ahead and check Read Only again so you don't accidentally mess something up. After default engine.ini, the second one you're going to want to open is default game.ini, and you'll see
several packages available on the left, and the one that you're looking for has the name of your game in it to load, and it should be at the bottom, but we can just do a quick search as James is demonstrating over here, and we can see that this is the package we have to edit, and we want to add default game equals the name of your level .sf game info, and you want to make sure that the capitalization is correct, because any misspellings on any of these or anything that's not capitalized could throw off all of your code and could cause you several hours of headache.
And when he mentions capitalization, he's referring to however you capitalized your file name. So if you did SF all lowercase tutorial in your Visual Studio file, there might be some problems accessing that. So just go ahead and be very careful when you're inserting any sort of information into these config files.
And then from there, you want to go ahead and move on to UDK.
So we're going to go ahead and minimize this, and go ahead and open up the Unreal Development Kit, and you're going to have a window that looks like this. Go ahead and close your content browser, we don't need that for now. And then right up here you'll see Kismet. So we're going to click here, we're going to open up Kismet.
And then from Kismet, you're going to want to right click in the gray space, and you're going to want to add a new event, and you're looking for
level loaded, I believe. What we're doing right now is we're setting up the Kismet sequence for our Flash file that we've gone ahead and created. Again, if you need help with any of the Flash things, please refer to our Flash tutorial video done by the illustrious Katie. She did an excellent job, and she will walk you through actually creating the menu buttons and the different items that you need in Flash. Okay, so once we've gone ahead and added our new event, level loaded, we're going to right click again in the gray area and do a new action, and it's going to be open GFX UI, and we're going to want to open a GFX movie, and you can hold control down and left click to move these things around in the Kismet window if you need to. Okay, and now we're going to right click again in the gray area,
and you're looking for the player option.
So we're going to go ahead and add a new variable, and it's going to be player. So we've gone ahead here and added player.
And you want to go ahead and attach the player to the player owner sockets on the OpenGFX movie. And then from there, you would also need to attach the name to the level loaded with the GFX movie on the level loaded icon, the hexagon, if you will.
Yes, so level loaded is now connected to the OpenGFX movie.
And from there, you want to go ahead and move on and add
We're going to go over to our content browser, and we're going to get the Flash file that we've gone ahead and imported. Let's see. Well, we can just use this one for an example. So you're going to want to go ahead and left click on it so that it's selected, and then go ahead back over into Kismet and click on level loaded. And what we're going to want to do is move our Flash video, our Flash file over here in movie. So I'm sorry, I didn't mean level loaded. You're going to want to click on OpenGFX movie. So with your Flash file selected, go back into Kismet, click on OpenGFX movie, and right here in this space it should say none. And you're just going to go ahead and click this green arrow. And now we've added, you can see here, we've added our click tutorial. This is just an example. Look back earlier in our tutorial video to see exactly how to import, in case you missed it, how to import your Flash file into UDK. So with this selected, we've now added it to the GFX movie. So with all of our Kismet items in place, we need to go ahead and disable the HUD. So to do that, we left click on Open GFX Movie, and down here you'll see on the left hand side Take Focus. That should be checked.
And then after that, you want to be sure to check Capture Input. And then you want to go back to the gray area, and you want to right click in the gray area, and you want to add a new action.
That's an action, okay.
A toggle cinematic mode.
Or toggle cinematic mode, okay. Again, we control and left click to move these items around the screen.
Then you want to connect the boxes level load invisible to, you want to connect the boxes to, you want to make sure that toggle cinematic mode is connected to
right here, to loaded and visible, to enable toggle cinematic mode.
Then you want to click on cinematic mode, and click on Sequent Act Toggle Cinematic Mode under that tab on the left hand side. And you want to make sure that turning and movement are disabled, and you want to make sure that turning and movement are pretty much checked there. Because if they're checked, then you know that they're not going to be allowed to move during the cinematic sequences of the beginning when you have your menu popped up. For
Right,
instance.
exactly. When the HUD comes up, or when the menu comes up on screen, we don't want the player to be able to turn and move around too much.
Otherwise, they may get frustrated and killed by the AI.
Exactly.
And then once we've done that, we need to basically make sure that we want to go to world properties to make sure that all the world info is in check.
And I believe we also needed to check the player to toggle cinematic mode as well. So we'll make sure we have that checked and connected. Okay, so once your Unreal Kismet sequence looks something like this, you are in good shape for getting your Flash menu to show up.
And that is true.
But before we're completely finished with setting up our Kismet sequence, we're going to want to go ahead up to View, World Properties, and then go ahead and check, make sure that no default inventory is checked.
If you have that checked, then the player won't start with any weapons that may interfere with the menus or any other items that you put within your menu system.
Okay, so now we're finished with our Kismet sequence in Unreal. Okay, so now that we've set up our build environment in Visual Studio 2008, we're going to show you how to add a class folder. And this is the next step in order to create your .uc files, which is the UnrealScript files that we're going to need. So first, you right-click on SF Tutorial, and then you're going to scroll down to Add, and then you're going to go to New Folder, and it's going to drop down here and create a new folder for you. Go ahead and double-click on this and call it Classes. Once you've created the Classes folder, you're going to go ahead and create, right-click again, go to Add, New Item, and it's going to bring up Add a New Item SF Tutorial window. Make sure you click on UnrealScript file, because we're creating an UnrealScript file, and then go ahead and give it a name. In this case, we called it SF HUD and SF Tutorial Info.uc, and over here you can see our different classes that we've gone ahead and created. So once you've named your file, click Add, and it'll bring it over here, and you can double click on it, and it'll open up your UC file. And the UC file will probably be empty because you haven't added anything to it yet. So first we're going to start with the SF Tutorial Info.uc. SF just simply stands for scale form. This is a name that we created. It doesn't necessarily stand or mean anything in particular. So your UC files should generally be specific to your project. In this case, it's just an example. So we've gone ahead and double-clicked on our SF Tutorial Info.uc file. It brings up our project environment over here to the left, and right off the bat along the top here you can see class SF Tutorial Info extends UT Deathmatch. As you scroll down, you're going to want to add or refer to our wiki. In this case, we've put all the script that you need to include in the wiki, and wherever it says SF Tutorial .sfhu HUD or SF tutorial, SF player controller. It's referencing our naming conventions for things. So you're just going to go ahead and name them specifically to the project that you've created. So then you'll go through each of the .uc files and make sure that you add the code, the UnrealScript that we've put up on our wiki page. All this is important to getting our Flash movie functioning in the UDK editor. Okay, so after you've gone ahead and added all the scripts and all the classes in our project, you're going to want to make sure you go up and of course save all, but then go ahead to build and go ahead and rebuild solution. That's generally a better idea than the build solution, but go ahead to rebuild solution. You'll rebuild the entire solution and you'll go ahead and click play after that, just to double check that everything's working. And UDK will open up.
And you can see the code up there on the left loading.
And here's our sample menu that we've created. So the player will be able to scroll down through here and click play. And we have it set to Team 5 UI map. And right here you can see our health bar in the top left hand corner. And we've created this map in UDK, and we're going to go ahead and add some bots now. We'll add one bot so we can show the functionality of the help menu.
In addition to showing off the wonderful art skills of
yes. Okay, and so there you can see our health bar
completely drained.
Yes, drained as we were taking damage.
Unfortunately, we were totally owned by that bot.
Hmm.